Hello there, glad to have you join us on the media news on OGTV, the People's Telly. I am Dominic Agbea. President Bola Tinubu on Thursday held closed-door talks with governors elected on the platform of the All Progressives Congress, APC, otherwise known as the Progressives Governors Forum, at the Aso Rock Presidential Villa, Abuja. The meeting is the latest in a back-to-back series of engagements with governors and top chieftains of the party at Aso Rock to resolve the crisis trailing the controversial Presidential Campaign Council list released by the party last Saturday, August 23, 2026. Governors marched to the president's office shortly before 4 in the evening on Thursday, after emerging from a separate session of the National Economic Council chaired by Vice President Kashim Shettima. The consultations, which began since Wednesday, were aimed at reviewing and reworking the PCC list, which has continued to generate controversy since its release. The ruling party had faced severe backlash over the inclusion of some controversial party chieftains, particularly those currently facing corruption charges. The Ogun State Governor, Prince Dakwa Abiodun, has charged young people across the state to embrace leadership, unity and purposeful participation in the development of their communities. Governor Abiodun gave the charge at the 2026 International Youth Day public presentation and inauguration of 2,360 ward executives held at the June 12 Cultural Center, Kuto, Abeokuta. Olaide Oloye Shulwade reports.
The 2026 International Youth Council public presentation and inauguration of 2,360 ward executives brought together youth leaders, government officials, and other stakeholders from across Ogun State. The occasion was graced by the state governor, Prince Dakwa Abiodun, represented by the secretary to the state government, Tokunbo Talabi, alongside the state head of service, Olarewaju Saka, and other government functionaries. Delivering the keynote address, the Secretary to the State Government, Tokunbo Talabi, emphasizes the importance of youth participation in governance, leadership, and community development.
They have demonstrated leadership qualities that are very rare among youth these days. They've also demonstrated some level of maturity. And what we're saying to them is that typically as we get into electioneering process, youths are usually impressionable. And with what I've seen today and what we have experienced, we are so sure that they will take charge of their youth.
Also speaking, the state head of service, Olarewaju Saka, urges the newly inaugurated executives to uphold integrity, responsibility, and commitment in the discharge of their duties.
Which recognizes that the future of Ogun State is a collective responsibility in which our young people have a crucial role to play. Therefore, encourage our youth to embrace education, innovation, entrepreneurship, civic responsibility, and continuous self-development.
Highlight of the event was the inauguration of 2,360 ward executives, representing wards across the state. The executives thereafter took oath of office, pledging to serve with dedication, accountability, and commitment to the development of their respective communities. The occasion also featured presentation of awards to outstanding people who have distinguished themselves through leadership, service, and contributions to the development of Ogun State.
The National Youth Council, which was started in 1976, by the time I got to know the development at present, I became the happiest man on earth.
OGTV is an household name, and over the years it has given me and several other broadcast journalists the opportunity and the platform and to bring out the best in us. I want to say a very big thank you to the management.
Earlier in his welcome address, the state chairman of the National Youth Council, Akola Wole Shoremi, describes the initiative as a platform for empowering young people and encouraging their active participation in governance and community development.
It is a great milestone, the very first of its kind, not only in Ogun State, but in the whole of Nigeria. They have never had the youth council at the grassroots level, at the ward level, to that extent. So the state government has given the necessary support as well for us to be able to achieve this.
The inauguration of the new executives and other young people across the state is to harness their skills, talents, and collective strength towards building a more prosperous Ogun State. Olaide Oloye Soluade, OGTV News.
Ogun State Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology, Professor Abayomi Arigbabu, has commended the Police Public Relations Committee, PCRC, for their collaborative efforts to ensure safety of learners around the school system across the state, describing it as initiative of national interest. Professor Arigbabu, who gave the commendations during the visit of the PCRC to his office at Okemoso, Abeokuta, appreciated them for their voluntary selfless service for total transformation and modeling of learners' behavior across all levels of education in the state. The commissioner said the immoral and unruly behavior perpetrated by some learners in schools might be as a result of bad upbringing, saying if parents could build up their wards on moral principles, normalcy and peaceful coexistence would prevail within the school system. He advocated that security is everybody's business, either government, parents, school owners, teachers, or community leaders. And so it becomes imperative for all and sundry to cooperate with the federal government on its quest towards securing the lives and properties of the citizens. Speaking, the chairman of PCRC Ogun State chapter, Comrade Abdullahi Lawal, said the visit was a commitment to building a stronger partnership between the community and the Education Ministry towards ensuring schools remain safe, secure, and conducive for learning and development. Similarly, the Ogun State Technical and Vocational Education Board hereby announces the conduct of a screening examination for year 2026-2027 academic session into the 8 government technical colleges across the state for a 3-year course of study/program leading to the award of National Technical Certificate, National Business Certificate, amongst others. The screening exercise will hold on Saturday, 29th August 2026. According to the State Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology, Professor Abayomi Arigbabu, the exercise is for prospective candidates who have completed their registration for the screening examination through the Ogun State Education Digital Platform and must possess Basic Education Certificate or West African Senior School Certificate Examination Council, Senior School Certificate Examination, amongst others. Principals of the Government Science and Technical Colleges and Government Technical and Vocational College, according to the statement, have made adequate arrangements towards the successful conduct of the examination. Candidates are expected to come along to the examination centers with their writing materials, the printout of their registration forms, and photocopies of their credentials. Candidates are enjoined to comport themselves well throughout the period of the examination. In the same vein, the Ogun State Ministry of Education, Science and Technology has announced that the screening examination for admission into the 44 flagship schools in the state for the 2026-2027 academic session will hold on Saturday, 29th August 2026. Principals of the flagship schools are directed to ensure adequate preparation and smooth conduct of the examination. Candidates are equally advised to maintain orderly conduct throughout the exercise. A statement by the Commissioner in the Ministry, Professor Abayomi Arigbabu, says the Ministry has made all necessary arrangements to ensure a itch-free exercise. According to the Commissioner, only candidates who completed their online registration will be allowed to sit for the examination. The statement urged candidates to arrive by 8 in the morning with their writing materials and take their seats promptly. Over 260 hectares of land have been provided to young landless farmers who are also benefiting from a 2-day training on how to have a bountiful harvest in Obafemi Owode local government area of Ogun State. The program, which is being sponsored by the federal and Ogun State governments in collaboration with the International Fund for Agricultural Development in conjunction with Ogun State Agro-Industrial Processing Zones, is to ensure food security. Fora Adesol reports.
For 2 days, over 120 landless young women and men are in for intense training on how to tap into various endless opportunities of mechanized and modern farming provided for farmers with ease. The program was organized by the federal and Ogun State governments in conjunction with the International Fund for Agricultural Development in collaboration with Ogun State Agro-Industrial Zone (SAPZ) towards attaining food security and gainful employment for young farmers. Anthony Salako represented the state program coordinator of Ogun State Agro-Processing Zone, Alao Ibrahim. He says the training was intended to make farming attractive and harvest great.
We have to train them on climate smart agriculture so that they will have a high yield. So that's what we have achieved today.
3 of the 120 participants say the IFAD and SAPZ are indeed investing in young farmers, adding that the future is now brighter for farmers.
Being in agribusiness, you can be a producer, you can be a processor, you can be a marketer. There are still other loopholes that we have in agriculture that a lot of us can key into, like digital skills, technology.
Today, we're able to learn more of what we've been adding to our knowledge. Is a good skill for us.
Within these 2 hours or 3 hours that I've spent there, I've learned a series of things, a lot of things that can make me have more yield on my crops or on my farmland.
The resource person and agricultural expert, Dr. Oladimeji Alegile Doye, treated sustainable agriculture for best yield, dry season farming, erosion control, water management, water preservation, blood treatment, off-taking, processing, among other topics.
As youths and women, that there are opportunities for them in landless agriculture and sustainable farming, that they should not say because there is no land that they cannot go into. Even at the back of their yards, their houses, they can make use of that to grow their cassava and their rice.
Training continues as over 600 hectares of land have been made available for landless farmers in parts of Ogun State. Adefowora Adesonwo, OGTV News.
And now to the foreign scene. Norway's King Harald IV has died at the age of 89 after he was taken to hospital last week for treatment for a rare blood condition. The palace in Oslo said he passed away peacefully at 06:35 local time at the National Hospital in Oslo. The royal flag on the roof of the palace has been lowered to half-mast. In the 24 hours leading up to his death, members of the royal family had visited the king and crowds had laid flowers at the palace. Harald was Norway's first king born in Norway since the 14th century. He has been succeeded by his son, Haakon, 53, who will hold an extraordinary council of state with the government later. Our former Deputy General Secretary, Dr. Emmanuel Ikmeme, has been appointed by the National Sports Commission as Interim General Secretary to oversee the Nigeria Football Federation NFF Secretariat. Dr. Ademola Olajire, who previously served as Director of Media and Communications, has been named Interim Deputy General Secretary. The leadership restructuring follows Thursday's resignations of NFF President Alhaji Ibrahim Musa Guzo, General Secretary Dr. Mohammed Sanusi, and several members of the Executive Committee. Consequently, all administrative preparations for the NFF Elective Congress, originally scheduled for September 27, have been suspended. A new electoral framework will be introduced following comprehensive governance reforms to be conducted in consultation with FIFA and the Confederation of African Football, CAF. And as we end the news, let us remind you, it always seems impossible until it is done. And that's the media news. We thank you so much for watching, but do not forget that the Yoruba version comes up next.